Hello everyone, leader Dorset Spur back yet again for another video, this time talking about the Europa League. And obviously we have the big one coming up here at Galatasaray. Wow, to be honest with you, I really fancied this one. I really wanted to go to this one, but obviously having been to Budapest, trying to fit all those annual leave days together is not always easy. Plus, you've got to get permission from the governor as well. And I'm not saying she'd have said no, but you've got to make sure that you keep the equilibrium right. Okay, I've been married for what 36 years, so listen, I must be doing something right. Okay, but listen, I'm rambling on about myself. It's not important. So Europa League, 3 wins out of 3 so far, but here is probably our biggest test. Galatasaray in Istanbul is going to be a real interesting one. The crowd there really, really do get up, and the way they approach the games and all the rest of it is really, really intimidating. So I guess the big question really is, what's Ange going to do? Is he going to go with what he's currently going with, and a lot of youth in there? 9 changes, a lot of youth normally. Or is he going to think, well, this could be a difficult one, so let's make sure we get the right mix in there, a little bit of experience to try to overcome what could be, a real issue for these youngsters. On the other hand, young guys coming in, playing without fear, those sorts of things, they may not be intimidated. They may be thinking to themselves, "No, look, I'll back myself. I'm a great player. I can handle this occasion." So it's a real difficult one, and obviously Ange will know. He will know his players, and he will know what the best thing to do is, and pick based on that. But given the injury situation and the player availability, I think he's probably going to be forced to go somewhere down the middle in this situation, and have a bit of a mixture of experience and youth in there. Excuse me, swallowed a frog. Um, so yeah, I think it'll be really, really interesting. I'm expecting to see some changes for sure, because Romero is, I think he's out. I know he took a knock at the weekend, and with the international break coming up, he may want to be fit for that. Seems to be the normal thing that happens, certainly with South American players, is they tend to protect themselves to play for their country. Is one of those things, and we have seen that before with some other players as well. So listen, it is what it is. But I think he's probably injured and out, which will probably mean that Ben Davies comes back into the team. And to be fair to Ben Davies, he's been professional all the way through. He's done whatever's been asked of him. If they ask him to play left back, he plays left back. They ask him to play centre back, he plays centre back. He does whatever he's asked to do, doesn't complain about it, and puts in a generally solid performance. He doesn't sort of rip up the phone book, or stand out as the best player on the pitch. But he will do a professional job. He will work hard, and give as much as he can for the team. We saw that at the weekend with his great interception that set up our second goal. So I'm okay with that. I think it's likely that Gray will go to left back. I think Udogi has played a lot of games, and obviously with very limited options there. Spence, I think, is still injured, so we haven't had him as an option, although he won't play in the Europa anyway because he wasn't named in the squad. So I think Gray may well come in, which potentially means that Porro will have to play. So, which I think is a good thing, because Porro, good player, got a little bit of more experience about him, probably able to handle that pressure. So I think that's the likely scenario in there. Midfield will be the interesting one, because Sarr has been so good in there that realistically, can we afford him not to play? But then at the same time as that, you've got Basuma, you've got Bentancur, not the same players, but it's going to be either of those. It's not going to be both of those. So in my mind, I'm thinking Sal probably still plays or plays some of it. I think we probably goes with Basuma because of Bentancur playing the majority of the game at the weekend, and I think he probably brings Maddison back to captain the team. Did really well in the previous match in the Europa. Scored at the weekend with that blinding free kick. So I think his confidence will be up, and he'll be pushing Ange to say, look, I still want to be a key part of this squad. And it is all about the squad now. It's not just about the individuals. It is about the squad. And I think it's a big call leaving Maddison out, because he's one of the better players in that squad in his day. But there is a time and a place. So I think he will come in, and I think that means that Kulu will probably miss out. Maybe being on the bench. He's been undroppable, really. But again, games come thick and fast. We've got Ipswich at the weekend, so potentially, he perhaps needs to sit this one out. And I think maybe with Son only doing the sort of 55 minutes, that means that he could come back in on the left-hand side, and to give Johnson a break. I think potentially we're looking at maybe Werner picking up the right-hand side over there, or Mikey Moore. So it'll be interesting, but I do think it depends on how long he wants to give Son, because I think if Son's playing on the left, maybe he says, right, you can get sort of 50 minutes into the game, hour maybe, and then we're going to bring on Mikey Moore to pick up that position, in which case we can leave Werner on the right hand side. Don't think that's his best position, and he's not, although he scored that brilliant goal. He's not having the best of seasons, right? So, and that's not his best place. He's better on the left than he is on the right, and even on the left, he's not been up to his usual standard. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what he does there, and then of course, striker-wise, realistically, we've only got Solanke, with Richarlison being injured, and I haven't seen an update on that, so I don't know how bad that is. But it didn't look particularly good, which means Solanke plays again. Now, does he start with Solanke and try to get ahead and hope that is enough, and then maybe bring in Lancashire? And again, I'm not sure whether Lancashire is back fit again yet, or does he go with Lancashire and then look to bring on Solanke if he really needs to? Potentially he could play Son up front. He could play Werner on the left. Could play Werner on the left and stick with Johnson on the right. Maybe it's one, or Mikey Moore. He could probably put Mikey Moore on the right because he's used him there. So it'd be really interesting. For me, I think I'd still like to see Solanke up top, having scored 2 goals. His confidence has got to be up. Maybe that's the one that's going to kick him on. I still prefer Son on the left. He had a good impact second half of the game, or for the 10 minutes he played anyway, against Villa. So I think that'll be good for his confidence if he can get another 50, 60 minutes into that. Say Mikey Moore maybe on the right hand side. Maybe Johnson carries on. It'll be interesting to see. But then if Lancashire is available, then I think maybe he should get some minutes. But you've got to get that balance right, because this isn't going to be easy. Galatasaray are flying at the moment. I don't think they've lost many games. I don't think they've lost any actually in the league. They're top of the league, I believe, and doing well. But they do concede goals, and we do score goals. So. And I know people talk about our dodgy defence and all that kind of stuff. I'm not sure it's as dodgy as people like to create that narrative. So we'll kind of see from there where it goes. But I think this is going to be a win for us. I do think that we can go there and win. I don't think it's going to be easy, even though my score prediction will make it sound like it's easy. But I don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be quite edgy. I think we may go 1-0 up, and then they'll draw it back to 1-1. I think then we may get the second goal, and that will kind of be the edgy bit in the game. 2-1. It's never really enough. But then I just fancy us maybe just nicking one right at the end, when it's just almost too late with Galatasaray pushing on. I think we catch them on the break. Some tired legs maybe at the end of that game, where someone coming in, someone like Mikey Moore, if he's not playing from the start, coming in and running at them. Someone like Johnson, again, if he's not playing from the beginning, running at them. I think we could catch them on the break right at the end. So I'm going to go with a 3-1 win for Tottenham, but I don't think it's going to be an easy 3-1 win, if that makes sense. I think it's going to be one of those edgy games where it'll be backwards and forwards. We're going to be on our edge of our seats watching this game, and then we'll put it to bed right at the end and make us feel a little bit more comfortable. I was never going to say that Tottenham are going to lose, am I? I'm a happy capper, so why would I ever come out with that? But at the same time, like I say, don't think it's going to be easy. I think it's going to be intimidating. I think there's a lot for Ange to think about in terms of his team selection. Who's fit? Who's available? What mix can he get? Does he go with experience? Does he go with youth? Does he go with a mix in the middle? Does he start strong? Does he bring strength on? There's lots of questions in there, and only Ange really knows the answers to those questions, right? So we're all sitting here guessing, and that's what makes for good content, to see whether you're right or whether you're wrong, whether you've got any idea what's going through his mind or not. But it'll be interesting. But yeah, for me, I just love the fact that we're playing 2 games a week, and it's keeping us busy. There's no time to dwell on poor performances. Like I say, we lost against Crystal Palace. Pathetic performance, really, really disappointing. And you come away with 2 games, 2 wins against two decent opposition teams, scoring good goals from different players as well. It's not all coming from the same players. The goals are coming across the team, which is always a good thing, especially when your main striker left you, and you're kind of trying to replace that with someone different. And we won't have anyone ever the same as Harry Kane. It will be another generation before we get a player of that ilk come back through the team, for sure. We have tried umpteen different strikers, and none of them have really worked out. Hence the reason why Kane was such a blessing for this team, or this club. So anyway, listen, again, rambling on as normal, talking a load of old tosh. But listen, I'm going to go with that 3-1 win. I hope it's going to be okay. I wish I was there. I know there are some people there. I know some people that are going. I wish I'd gone there. I'm really, really disappointed. But listen, there'll be other games. Hopefully, if we win this one, we're practically through. A draw's not a disaster. Even a loss isn't a disaster, given that we've still got, Roma to play, Hoffenheim, and someone else. I can't think what they're called. So there's still games to play. Rangers as well, of course. So there's still games to play. But three wins so far is a very, very good start, a great platform to build on. So we'll see where we go from here. But I'm expecting a win. But this is Tottenham, you never know. And then, of course, we've got Ipswich at the weekend. So we'll see how that goes as well. Anyway, listen, rambled on for long enough. Thanks very much for watching all the videos. Appreciate it. I'm sorry I'm bombarding you with so many at the moment, but there is just so much to talk about. There's so many games coming up. You'll be glad of the international break where I can shut up. But anyway, listen, thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. I'll leave it there. Up the Spurs.